Today it's Monday, May 15, 2023, and I just realized that I haven't made any other video today. That's the first one. It's time to go home actually. The guys are grinding, cutting, yeah, classic like any other time. I'm gonna pause it until they finish to hear what I have to say. This is for the owner, obviously, for the customer owner, and then for whoever finds it useful. I have finished with the engine block. I have cleaned it. This the first wash of the block. Alright, looks beautiful, looks excellent. I don't see any problem. I need to inspect it with the camera like any other time to check all the oil galleries. That's fine. No problem there whatsoever. The bank 2 cylinder head here, bank 1 cylinder head here. What I have done. Now some of you are gonna say, it's touching on the stainless steel table. It's touching the sealant. It still has a sealant up. It's full of sealant. I haven't cleaned it and I just placed it on the table. I didn't scratch it, I didn't move it whatsoever. I just cleaned here the surface to show you something. Please note, here I haven't touched the spark plugs, alright? And you can see that the gap, it's a little bit more close than it should. It's the OEM spark plugs. This one, the bank 1. Okay, this one. This one, if you measure it with a filler gauge, it's 20,000 of an inch. It's half millimeter, the gap. Half millimeter the gap, that means to have a steady idle, you have to increase a little bit the RPMs. Okay, yeah, no worries. I'm not gonna touch the spark plugs. You need to increase a little bit the RPMs by 50, 100 RPMs more, and you have to give a little bit more fuel on idle, not lambda 1, lambda 0.96 probably, to keep up to don't have misfire. Because if you keep lambda 1 and you got the spark plugs, even the OEM spark plugs or HKS spark plugs, it has some stability issues, the idle. Alright? Then I was cleaning here the surface to get some measurements and to make also a leak test to see if I have to continue with the valves, valve seals and all the rest. And I saw this. I don't know how I'm gonna show you now this shit. You see the step here? There is also a step here. I don't know if you can see that through the camera. There is also a step here. If you put your fingernail here, especially here, easily you can feel it, what I'm saying. It's not smooth like this area. On the tune application, when you increase the boost, it's happening that. It's not something new. Now, yeah, the same thing here. It's been squeezed. It's been squeezed. Now, for a bone stock application, you're not gonna have any problem. I can put a new head gasket and you're gonna be fine. But not for upgrades. Not for a 2 bar of boost plus more than 2 bar of boost, 30 psi. And not on the direct injection on the pressures that we're gonna start building and the temperatures. You're not gonna be stock. That's what I'm trying to say. So, if you want my opinion, the cylinder heads need to send it for resurfacing. One touch up, not something crazy, not 0.25, something like a 10 of millimeter, 0.1 of millimeter. You see the intake valves. Yeah. You see, this is how it's supposed to be. Like this. Yeah, never mind. No worries about that. So, if you want my opinion, need to go for resurfacing the cylinder heads. Yay! I'm gonna open also one exhaust valve to see the condition. Most probably you're gonna need some care to take care of the valves. Same thing we see from this side. Yeah. Then somebody mentioned something for the intercooler. Place a comment for the intercooler. Okay. Now, it came here without. It was already broken. The methanol nozzle here, the jet. Okay. The coolant that you see that comes outside, it's not coming because it has a leak. The intercooler. I will gonna leak test. Not now. It's not the time now. Okay. But there is no sign inside of the intake manifold. There is no sign on the throttle anywhere to indicate that it was leaking coolant inside of the engine, that has a leak the intercooler and it's leaking inside. Now, what's happening? If you pay attention, the nozzle for the methanol, it's after the intercooler. So if you raise the boost up and you have high intake air temperature, all the hot you're gonna warm up much more than when you're running 1 bar, or if you run the methanol before the intercooler. If you run it after, you're gonna try to cool as much as possible the intercooler, and then you're gonna cool it further the methanol jet, plus you're gonna increase the fuel mixture. Okay, so is that ideal? No. What I believe what happened and why it happened all this mess from a coolant. The coolant expansion tank, it's for 15 psi. The rate's for 15 psi. If you increase in the system more than 15 psi, you're gonna start coming out coolant, and that's normal. That's how it's been designed. Now, if you crank it up to 2.2 bar of boost, and you push the car hard, yes, it will gonna increase 15, 16 psi, and you're gonna start escaping some coolant out. Plus, it's sharing the same coolers, the intercooler. It's sharing the same coolers with the transmission heat exchanger. So you have two sources of heat. You're gonna tell me it has a valve and has an independent pump, but again, it's sharing the same coolers. It's not different cooler for the heat exchanger of the transmission and different for the intercooler. All right. So yes, it can happen. I believe that if the methanol jets, the nozzles, it was before the intercooler, you're not gonna have this kind of results. But that's me. Obviously, like I said before, I will gonna leak test both of the coolers. Now, what I'm gonna do there with the holes, I have no clue. Don't ask me. Honestly, I have no clue. We're gonna see when it comes to time. My priority is the engine, then all the rest. Because the job, like what they said, piston connecting rods, studs, and the intake manifold. That's the order that I get. Now, anything else, it's up to the owner, up to the office, what they're gonna tell me. Now, like I said, I'm suggesting to go for resurfacing, one light resurface in both cylinder heads to be exactly equal, to don't remove, let us say, from this one 1/10 of millimeter and from this one 2/10 of millimeter. That's why I'm getting a measurement, the height of the cylinder head. Obviously, I'm gonna strip it off completely. Obviously, I'm gonna clean it, I'm gonna wash, I'm gonna prepare it before I send it, so when it comes back to be perfect, spotless. I'm gonna have the minimum amount of time that I'm gonna spend on the cylinder head when it comes from the machine shop. I'm not gonna have to clean all this mess. It's gonna be already clean, like any other time. Let me show you also the numbers since we are here. This is the 47,328. You can watch from the previous video that we are talking about the cylinder heads, the same cylinder heads, and 49,041. Yeah. And the covers and the other parts are behind the curtain. It's not now the time. The time is for the cylinder heads. The block, like I said, I need to check it to see that everything is fine. Anything else? Nothing more, nothing less. This I'm gonna say later on, because as far as I remember, the customer, he told me that he's using ethanol. He's blending ethanol. If you're blending ethanol, you can use the methanol to cool the intake air temperature. So you're gonna tell me you're gonna pass through the turbo, you're gonna have methanol and aluminum. They're not good friends. Yeah, right. In any case, it was when I saw the intake manifold, I was a little bit disappointed because the fuel injectors, the low pressure fuel injectors on the intake manifold, it's just only 390 cc. And I was also disappointed because instead of being concentrated on the low pressure injectors to put 1200 cc and keep the stock high pressure pumps, because you don't want from the direct injection, you want from direct injection to work as a stock one. If you want to make a power, you're gonna spray from the port injection. I checked the fuel injectors at the rail, and it's 390 cc only. Plus the fuel feed for the manifold, it's just only 4.5 millimeters, the inner diameter. Now, with upgrade high pressure pumps and drill rail, I don't know how much fuel and what with the drop in also low pressure pump upgrade, that's on boost. in any case, it's not my business, right? Yeah, right. My business is here. Correct. Enough talking. Let's finish it here. Like I said, need to go for resurfacing. I'm waiting now from the office to see what they're gonna tell me, if it's okay or not. I'm asking, once again, it's not my property, it's not belong to me. Maybe the owner, he'll gonna tell me, no, you know, my engine has only 63,000 kilometers, I don't want to resurface the cylinder heads. The same thing like with the timing chain. Maybe he doesn't want, as an example, or he doesn't want to change the spark plugs with HKS. Maybe he wants to use this one. That's why I have it here in order. I didn't touch it by any means, I just only measure the gap. Okay, so when it starts the engine, to know what to expect with a 0.5 millimeter gap. It's not gonna run smooth. Yeah. So that I have also the vacuum pump over there. I have it now 2 days there. Yeah. Before the weekend I put it over there because I need to open it to remove the oil and clean it. Yeah, that's the status. Thank you very much. Next video when I'm gonna clean it and I'm gonna be ready to send it to the machine shop. Probably, yeah. We're gonna see. We're gonna find out. Thank you.